Okay, friends, we have a special guest with us today. If you're all familiar with the Grand Rapids radio scene, I'm sure there's a chance you've heard this voice before, but please, would you care to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Alisha B, and I'm on Magic 104.9, as Tim nicely said. I'm a radio personality here in Grand Rapids, but I'm also a lover of all things theater.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get your start in the radio scene?
So I'm originally from DC, and I've always loved music growing up. One of my first memories was like my grandfather, who was blind, crazy. He was always playing like guitar in our house. And I would always be so fascinated on one, how he learned it, and then two, just the beauty of music as it is, and the way that people can come together no matter the differences of language or boundaries. And I wanted to be able to not only talk about music and use music as an outlet, but to just be a good representation for my community. And I felt like the way to do that was through radio. So here I am.
Who else inspired you based on that?
So besides my grandfather, my uncle definitely inspired me. He was in the NFL, so through his journey of being undrafted and like having to hustle for what he got was really inspiring, and seeing his success on a grander scale, but remembering how human he still was always a good thing for me. And then just other people in the industry like Gia Peppers and Angie Martinez and Autumn Joy. Like all of those people growing up, I listened to them and I was just like in awe of them, especially all of them being Black women. So when I saw that they could do it, I was like, I can do it too.
For sure, yeah. Out of all the artists or figures you've interviewed, which ones left a lasting impression and why?
This is probably, there's two. One is Vice President Kamala Harris, and then the other is Musiq Soulchild. Musiq Soulchild is literally the soundtrack of my life. Growing up, he still is my favorite artist. And being able to have that one-on-one conversation with him and let him know how much I appreciated him, and just hearing his journey, because we were talking about his latest album, and just hearing how he went through that whole process was definitely a moment in time. And with Vice President Kamala Harris, hopefully we can do this before January. But just being able to talk to her was an amazing moment. I mean, that was history making. She's the first Black woman to hold that seat. And I also talked to her twice in 1 year before she got her nomination to become our future presidential candidate. But with talking to her, she also was like, yeah, girl, come to the White House. I'll show you around. And I'm like, girl, well, let's have that happen before January, because I need that. It was just the fact that she, her team also reached out to me. So it was kind of like a nod that I was doing something right in my career. Because for someone that big to reach out to me, I was like, oh, okay, clearly I'm doing something right.
Right.
But yeah, those two are probably the ones that I remember the most and left an impact on me.
That is awesome. That is for sure. Do you have any music or album recommendations for 2025?
Oh my gosh. I'm glad you asked. Flow's Access All Areas is so good if you're an R&B girl. Kendrick Lamar just dropped a surprise album. If you're into rap, who else? Let me see. Because maybe is it giving pop? Should I also give a pop recommendation?
Anything really.
I'm trying to give it so that everyone can have something, you know? Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet. If you haven't listened to that, she's an icon. She's a legend. She is the moment. And then if you're trying to get into Christmas, I know our girl Coco Jones is dropping another Christmas album. So that's going to be cute. Yeah, those are my recommendations. But obviously, you just got to listen so you can hear the rest of them.
Yeah, you just got to listen to that for sure. So you have a solid history with both media and theater. Mm-hmm. How did you transition into theater, and what drew you into it?
So in high school, I did my first production ever, and it was the production of Honk. Have you heard of that?
It rings a bell. This was the particular production that rang the bell. Honks the horn.
And I was a little duckling in that, and that sparked me to want to get on stage. Unfortunately, my plans were halted because of people. My choir teacher at the time was very anti-Lisha. She didn't think that I was a good vocalist or could sing as a soloist on stage, and I unfortunately internalized that. So for 10 years I didn't perform ever again. until I got here and moved here and tried out for SpongeBob, the musical, here at Grand Rapids Civic Theater. And I honestly didn't think I was going to get it. I was like, I'm at least going to try. And shout out to Allison, because that's my girl. She's my theater mom. And yeah, I got back in and then decided to continue to live at Civic for a year.
That's awesome. It really for like I would say for like a full circle moment. It really, we've all definitely had those moments where like someone may tell you otherwise, that you may not be good enough, but really you are in more ways than one.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome for sure. What would you say is unique about the theater scene in Grand Rapids? Are there any hidden gems or must-see performances?
Obviously go and see Cats, because whoa, like the talent on that stage is ridiculous. And I'm not just saying that because most of them are my friends. Like, they are genuinely giving Broadway level performances every single night. They are doing great with their holiday show right now at Civic. But hidden gems and just what's different about the theater community here, I really think it's the people, because the people are the reason that I come back. Like, obviously I love theater and I love to get to perform and do shows every night.
I don't know what that is.
I love doing theater and I love doing shows every night. And that's always a thrill to be on stage and like perform for people and have people come up to you and tell you how much the performance meant. But I really think it's the people that are there. Like, every show that I've been on has been with fantastic people who I still talk to regardless of if the show has ended. And they keep me coming back. Even the people that work at the theaters, not only just Civic, but at Circle as well, that I've been able to meet, have just been so welcoming and warm. And anytime that I needed something from them outside of theater, they were always willing to support. So yeah, I think it's really the people.
Do you have a favorite production or experience that you've been a part of? Talk to us about that.
Okay, so I already talked about SpongeBob, so I won't talk about that. But I love SpongeBob and I love my cast. I think the most special one, the first one is definitely Clyde's, because that was my first time having a lead type of role. Because with Clyde's, it's only 5 people on stage, so all of you have a leading type of vibe to it. And then also, my character, Letitia, is like the emotional driver of the show. So having to, one, learn all those lines and learn the emotion behind it and the depth behind it all was a lot, because I didn't have that experience before. So I'm glad that I was able to work with amazing director Alisha Brown to make that happen. And then the last one would be Raisin in the Sun, which is also with Alisha. And that one was just different just because of the fact that of the timing that I had to learn that show. I was added into it later in the process, and I only had like 2 weeks to learn all of my lines. So Raisin in the Sun is definitely a show that I will remember, that I can do anything, that no matter what time limit I'm given or what people tell me that I can't do, I can do it, because I was able to learn a whole show, and just like a play, not a musical, like a straight play in under 2 weeks. So
as you should. That's what's up. What are your go-to strategies for preparing for a show? Kind of similar to what you were just saying. Any like pre-show rituals or habits our listeners might try themselves?
Okay, so pre-show rituals. Before I even get to the theater, I always like just play music that's not the show, or if it's a musical, because I don't know about you, but if I hear a musical too much, I'm like, I don't want to hear this anymore. Like, I love SpongeBob, but at least for like a good 2 months after that show, I was like, I can't watch another episode of SpongeBob. I can't hear nothing. But besides that, pre-show rituals, obviously, there are times where certain castmates and I will do certain things. During SpongeBob, myself, Alexa, and Kai, who are amazing actresses, by the way, we would all do like a girl powwow before every show. During Descendants, me and Landry, an amazing young actress, would always like prep and make sure that Snow White knew that she had to get to the ball, because Snow White's quick change was so crazy. So just connecting with my people. I don't really have like I have to like drink 2 bottles of water before I get on stage. Oh, I also, maybe TMI for your audience, but pre-show poops are great. I recommend everyone take a pre-show poop because the minute that you're on that stage and you gotta go, you're screwed.
Stress is universal.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage that, both on stage and in life?
It's a good question. First, I make it known that I'm stressed because no one can help you if you aren't, communicating that, especially in a theater sense, because you're probably not the only one who is stressed. So being able to share that with the people that you are working with is also very cathartic. And then otherwise, it's just taking a step back to just like recenter myself is always really nice. And whatever that is for you is whatever that is for you. For me personally, obviously music. I love taking walks, except when it's cold, because baby, don't do the cold. I'll call my mom or like I'll call my friends back home just to recenter me. And that time and that space away from the show or that space away from whatever's causing me stress allows me to recenter and refocus and be like, okay.
Give yourself a bit of a check-in.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it gives me a sense of like, okay, cool. I took a break now. Let's get back to what was stressing me and see if I can plan it differently or figure out other ways to go around it.
Yeah, absolutely. In your view, how does theater enrich the broader arts community? And what advice do you have for those who want to get involved or support it?
Well, without theater, we wouldn't have Wicked. I'm just saying.
Right.
And Wicked is a phenomenon right now. Go see Wicked. Without theater, like, there's just no joy for real. Like, yes, you can have music. Yes, you can have dance. Yes, you can have acting. But there's something different about having all those art mediums come together because we're not just even just talking about those three mediums. Like, there's props. There's artwork to theater. Like, without these amazing artists, we wouldn't have sets. So it's like you're getting art all in one go with just buying a ticket to a show. Like, that's incredible. And then advice to anyone who wants to get into theater, just freaking do it.
Just do it!
Honestly, in my experience, theater people have been amazing. And even if they're not, there's amazing people in the room with you. And most of the time that I've auditioned, there are plenty of people who may not even know me who are clapping for me because we all understand how nerve-wracking it is to take that first step to get into theater. So we're all just like, yes, girl, yes, really cool. Like, you did that. Especially if you sing down in an audition, we're going to tell you. So I just say just do it. Like, see if there's a show that's coming up that either aligns with something that you already love, like SpongeBob, or something that just is out of your wheelhouse, because you never know. Like, just stepping on that stage, whether you are a lead or an ensemble, you matter. And it's just a great experience, and I think everyone should at least try. I'm always a big advocate of telling my friends to get into theater. I'm trying to get my man into theater right now.
Looking back, what advice would you share with your younger self that our listeners can benefit from?
That no is not no. And the way that I say that is just because you heard a no doesn't mean that you should take that as defeat. You should take that and repivot it as, okay, a yes is coming. That no is just directing you to the proper yes, because there's been things, theater, in an instance, I was told no multiple times, and here I am. Shout out to Civic for giving me my first award ever in theater and just in life. And just with what I do as a career and things that I do in my life, I've had so many no's. And I wouldn't have gotten to the point of talking to the vice president of our country or talking to these huge influential people that people look up to if I just stuck with that no. So yeah, I would say no is not no. It's just leading you to your yes.
Could you tell us about Grand Rapids Civic Theater's School of Theater Arts and the opportunities it has there?
I would love to. Shout out to the School of Theater Arts at Civic. They have created an amazing platform for young artists to just become great. Mickey herself is in Cats, and I have watched her grow in the past year, not only as a School of Theater Arts student, but just as an actress herself. And they provide them with such good seminars and classes that allow them to become better and professional adults and actors. We're also bringing Citywide Drama Club to the School of Theater Arts, which I'm really excited to start. We're going to be doing that for the next few months in the winter, and we're going to be putting on a version of Camp Rock for the community. And that's just really exciting because it's for the inner city kids who don't have art programs or theater programs at their school. And I love that Civic is allowing that opportunity, because if I didn't have theater, I wouldn't know how to like expose myself and like live in my truth, because theater just opens that door for you. And there's been so many kids who have come to our little seminars or our little gatherings before our auditions who are just super excited to just have a moment that they can shine in. And I'm just really excited to be a part of that. Shout out to Jared, who is the one that's kicking off Citywide Drama Club. And shout out to Civic for just seeing a problem and seeing a deficit and wanting to fill that need.
Absolutely, yeah. Remind me again, you have a certain role that you're doing for...
I am the student support for Citywide Drama Club. And that's essentially just me being the liaison for the kids. When they get out of school, we don't immediately want to start them into like doing theater work. We want to give them a time to, decompress from their school day. Maybe get homework done if they absolutely need to get that done, or just having that bridge to get them into theater, especially for those who have never been on a stage before or don't know what an audition looks like or don't know the process. I'm the one that kind of helps them get out of their shell and get them excited to want to start the process. And I'm the person who's the youngest, so they'll be able to like see themselves hopefully in me, and like, yeah, I'm really excited because I've always wanted to do something like this. So I'm hoping that the kids who are in Citywide Drama Club will be able to experience that too, because we've got an amazing cast and crew that are going to be doing it. So
for sure. Related to that, what exciting projects or performances are coming up that our audience should look out for?
Ooh, okay. Obviously Camp Rock, not only just our version Citywide Drama Club, but also Main Stage, because they'll be doing it at the same time. What else? I love The Color Purple, obviously, because of the movie. Everyone should go and see it now. Waitress, I am assistant stage manager for it.
Exciting.
So, very excited to get my fingers dipped into the behind the scenes of theater. But yes, obviously that. Circle has Jesus Superstar coming.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
And Prom. And the one that I'm really hoping for, if Circle's hearing this, knock knock, the Dream Girls. Because I would love to, we're your dream girls, boy. I'm just saying, I can give a Beyonce, I can get a Jennifer Hudson, let's go. So if you need me. But yeah, those are the shows that I would definitely pick out. But honestly, go to all of the shows, because I'm not even just talking about Grand Rapids. There's Kalamazoo Civic Theater, there's Muskegon Civic Theater. There's so much just enrichment in theater that's happening right now. So if you just have a bored weekend or a bored day at home, please buy a ticket.
Out to the theater.
Come to see theater.
Where can our listeners connect with you or follow your work online? Where can we find you on social media?
That's easy, because it's at Lisha B Live on all platforms. That is LISHAB Live, because I am always live somewhere.
Magic 104.9.
Yes.
And what was your show called again?
The Afternoon Lituation, because it's a lit situation in the afternoon.
That's what's up.
Well, thank you for letting me be here. It's not often that I get to be on the other side of a conversation, so I appreciate you. And just honestly, I never get to really talk about my love of theater, so I was excited to talk to you today.
Yeah,
and Tim,
sure.
I love you. We're friends.
Lisha. Yeah, of course.
So it's always nice to come on and chat.
It's so great to have you on the show.
Y'all keep listening.
What she said.
Hi Ari, hi Cynthia. Hi Jonathan. So sorry, Jeff.